it looked like a dream when I started, but now it's real. And all I can say is consistently, I produce consistency and taking feedbacks along the way.
Everyone, hope you're keeping well and staying safe. This is Hafsa Anjum and I'm working as a community executive at Recro, wherein we are working towards building an exclusive community for developers to help you get connected with like-minded people, build your network and grow professionally. So those who don't know about what Recro is, it is a developer-focused platform helping developers to meet the right opportunity by connecting them with fast-growing startups such as CureFit, Udaan, Swiggy, Dunzo, etc. So welcome to Recro Talks again. And today we are having a webinar on how to build a strong social media presence as a developer. Our guest speaker for today is Kushal Vijay. Kushal is working as a software engineer at Microsoft. He believes in the power of programming to transform and improve the lives of people and has been constantly contributing to a tech creator. He has a social following of 29,000 subscribers on YouTube and 48,000 subscribers on LinkedIn. He also leads a community of over 40,000 students and teaches them along the tech-related stuff. So thank you so much, Kushal, for joining us. You can go ahead and say hi to the audience.
Hi, all of you. I'll quickly pull up my presentation and we will get started. We'll not waste any of your time and we'll jump to the good part quickly.
So before the presentation, Kushal, I just have one announcement to make. If you can post the questions in the question section, guys, that will be great because Kushal will be taking questions in the last 15 minutes of the session. So please post your questions in the question tab, not the chat box, because we might miss your questions in the chat box. And we will be rolling out poll in between, so please do answer them and keep your notepad handy. And whatever you learn from today's event, post that on your LinkedIn and tag Recro, tag Kushal, tag me, and then we'll be good to go. Yeah, Kushal, so let's get started. Cool. I think your presentation is visible.
Yes, my presentation is visible. Let me put aside everything from here. Okay, cool. Okay, folks. So today, as you know, Hafsa has already mentioned, we'll be talking about creating a digital footprint, building a personal brand, self-branding. You might have heard this word, self-branding, personal branding, a lot of the times on LinkedIn and across social media. So we will be revealing what is that, how you can get into that domain, and what benefits it provide. I'll be covering everything from scratch. But first of all, let's understand who I am. So I'm Kushal Vijay, and I was currently working as a software engineer at Microsoft. And right now, I'm also a content creator over different social medias like LinkedIn, like YouTube, like Twitter as well. And I've recently started on Instagram as well. So these are some of the social medias that I'm currently producing content on frequent basis. Previously, I've done internships at Microsoft and at a Germany-based startup, Stack Guardian. Okay, the spelling is wrong. My bad. Stack Guardian. Then previously, when I haven't joined Microsoft, I was into freelancing, tech freelancer, and I have had an experience of like 2.5 years in freelancing. And also I was a ACM ICBC regionalist. It is known as the Olympics of competitive programming across the globe. So these are a few highlights of me. If you want to connect with me, you can just search on Google Kushal Vijay and you'll find all my social handles. And that's it. Now, what is self-branding? Why self-branding? How self-branding? And how you can grow and create a digital footprint is something we are going to discuss ahead. But everything needs some motivation. Why would you even start sharing content, or why would you even do self-branding or create a personal brand? Now, why? That is the point. Nothing can give you motivation, or nothing will start until and unless you have some reward associated with it. Now I'll show you 3 or 4 rewards which will give you instant dopamine rush maybe, or instant motivation to get started in social branding, or social, developing your social presence. First is networking and collaboration. Today Recro team reached out to me. Why? Because I have a huge network and they see that people are connected with me. I have, so they collaborated with me. Now my audience and their audience will interact, and there is a win-win situation for both of us. And this is the thing. And we basically, it will help us to increase our network. Now, this is how self branding or personal branding helps to increase your connections, to increase your network, to increase your collaboration with like-minded people, with the industry specifically. Second is influencer marketing. So it is being predicted that by the end of 2025, India will be a market of, like, today. If I talk about today, India is a market of like more than 1,000 crores when it comes to social media influencing or influencer marketing. It's a, people are actually leaving their full-time jobs and going and starting their social media or content creation journey because they are getting much more from this particular domain. And that's true as well. You might have heard about Flying Beach. You might have heard about so many content creators which are there on the internet. They've started from YouTube, they're continuing on Instagram, they're exploring all the spaces, and they're earning in like crazy numbers. So this is something which is the greatest motivation, I believe. But you know, it is a greatest motivation and also a demotivator. I'll tell you why it is a demotivator later in the presentation. But believe me, you can earn much more than your your monthly income or your annual income from social media or from your self branding. Even if you're working in a fan company, or even if you're working on, in one of the top high frequency trading firms as well. And yeah, so I know people who are, you might have heard about people who have earned like crores in a year, just, and they are still in college. I hope you would have guessed the person I'm talking about. So social media, that person has grown from no viewers to thousands of viewers now, and he's like, dominating this space of content creation as a college student and earning in like, hundreds and thousands of dollars. So which is a great thing. Everybody wants to earn money, right? Now, coming to the third point, digital footprint. Now, what is the need of digital footprint? Obviously, you get popularity. You people will know you. When I started the presentation, I told you I've not shared my social media link or social media handle with you. I just mentioned that search on Google. No, I have the confidence. If you search on Google, you will find my profile on the top. Now, like, it's not I'm making false, you know, false, I would say, statements here. It's just that I know that I have created a digital footprint, and my Google search or everything will allow, have, good amount of my digital footprint, and it will show you the correct or relevant results. So digital footprint is actually necessary because people will know you. I'll tell you an instance. I went for a wedding of my best friend's elder brother, and there people actually identified me because of my YouTube channel, because of my content on LinkedIn. And this is not the first time I have like been identified by many people. Although I'm not a huge creator with millions of followers, but still I have a good amount of digital footprint, and that is actually helping me to connect with a lot of people, like-minded people. I am connected with so many people across this social media industry who are like doing amazingly well, and that is actually helping me to grow as well, right? And yeah, so this is something I believe a great motivation, creating a digital footprint. And then the final and the most important, which is the opportunities. If I specifically talk about developer domain, software engineering domain, we all, we like most of you who are watching this particular session are either college student or working professionals and are looking for great opportunities. Now, just for an instance, in the last 60 days, or last 6 months, I have received so many reach outs from across, across the globe, first of all, and across so many big companies. It's just that I don't want to leave right now. I don't want to leave Microsoft right now. But you might be thinking that Microsoft is the thing that which have brought these opportunities to me. But trust me, I'm not the only developer who's working at Microsoft. There are thousands of developers who joined with me. But why I am getting 100 opportunities and they are getting 10? Because I have a digital footprint. When they search on LinkedIn, my profile get, you know, edge over others. That's why. That is the reason I share a lot of content, and that is what creating. It's just that you are adding your stuff to a bag, so the probability of getting something out of that bag and getting you out of the bag is more, obviously, right? So this is how the opportunities thing comes into picture when we talk about self branding or personal branding. So these are the four things which actually the motivation or the motivation which can, or a kickstarter for you to get into this domain of self branding, personal branding. And trust me, these are way more beneficial than they actually sound. Trust me on that. Because you can, right now I'm talking to you, you can talk to other creators. You might have messaged or texted to so many creators, and I'm not sure if you would have gotten reply from all of them, because they are really very busy. And there are hundreds of DMs they have in their inbox. So now you can understand the reach they have, the popularity they have, and the things they are, you know, getting benefits of from this self branding or personal branding thing. So this is the motivation that I wanted to share. Now moving ahead to what is self branding. I have like spoken this word of personal branding, self branding like hundreds of times, but let's understand what it is. Now, according to Wikipedia, the process of personal branding involves finding your uniqueness, building your reputation on things that you want to be known for, and then later allowing yourself to be known for them. So वो कहते हैं ना कि किसी काम से आपको जाना जाए और फिर काम को आपसे जाना जाए. So this is the thing what self branding is. Now moving ahead, so this is a simple definition. I hope most of you might have understood what self branding is. Okay, so there is a hand raised. I would like to take this question. And sorry, I forgot to mention this thing that if anyone has any questions, you can put a comment. You can, raise your hand if you're on the Zoom. If you're on YouTube, ask the question in the live chat. Either we'll be taking it in the end, or we'll be taking it along the way. So there was a hand raised. Hafsa, can you check if the hand is still raised? And
I think the question is already asked in the chat box. So can we just
okay.
like have a look?
Yes.
Should we work down on the pre-stop or LinkedIn notes?
I cannot see, first of all, if everybody, I cannot see any of the questions or any of the comments that are coming. So let's take all those questions at the end of the session, and let's not interrupt the flow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are at the point at what is self-branding. So you might have understood by this, there are so many books written by so many amazing people like Miri Rodriguez, who is the global internship head of Microsoft. She has written a complete book on self branding, and that's a big hit. It's one of the best sellers actually on Amazon. Okay, somebody's raising hand again. Anyways, yeah,
Guys, can you please like post your questions in the
you can
Q&A
post your
tab,
questions in
because
the chat, and
yeah,
we'll take it. All of them, we'll take them by the end of the session. We
yeah.
have dedicated time for that. Okay, so this is something about self branding. What it is, you need to find your uniqueness. We'll be talking about how you can get started, and the finding your uniqueness thing will be a part of it. Building a reputation on the things you want to be known for, and then later allowing yourself to known for them. Moving ahead, how to get started in social media self branding, or how to basically start or develop your social presence. That is the main agenda of today's meeting. So let's jump onto this. Okay, it's a roadmap for you. basically a simplest roadmap to get started in social media, in developing a social media presence. First of all, identifying your niche. Now, what is a niche? You are, if you're a developer, you might be doing something. You might be, into computer programming. You might be into development. You might be into hackathons, open source development, system design, or any particular domain which you actually love and which you're actually doing. So you might have heard about folk model learning and T model learning. So generally, folk model learning is very hard and it's not preferred. T model learning is mostly preferred, where you have deep understanding of one subject and superficial understanding or general understanding of other subjects. So that particular subject which over which you have deep understanding is something you can take it as your niche. For example, if I talk about me, software engineering is something I have been involved in since my plus one, because I have started developing Android apps when I was in plus one only. So I'm into that domain, or in computer science domain, since at that time. So I create content or produce content related or around this area only. Now it's not like you cannot develop a new niche, and it's not like you can, if you don't have any niche, you cannot start, right? And you can actually develop any particular niche you want. It's just that it will take more time and effort. So but it's mostly recommended to identify a niche that you already have and then get started with it. And believe me, you will have, and you just have to talk to yourself or understand what is that one thing which has helped you till now. And if you share information around that particular topic, it will help other people as well. This is the way to identify your niche. And if you don't find it, just go and see what other people are doing. If you like it and you think you can do it, develop your niche around that topic. That's it. This is a simple roadmap to develop your niche, right? Now, once you identified your niche, you have to pick one platform. There are so many social media platforms like LinkedIn, like YouTube, like Instagram, Twitter, and there are many other. Telegram is also one of them. But I personally suggest everyone to go over one platform at a time and then diversify later on. But I'll be sharing some more tips on this, tips and tricks to basically, you know, increase your reach across the platforms. So I'll be sharing that by the end of the session. But initially, for the roadmap, I would recommend everyone to pick one platform at a time, maybe LinkedIn. Since you're a working professional or a college student into computer science domain or software engineering domain, LinkedIn is the perfect platform for you. The audience is huge. Nearly 1 billion people is like LinkedIn is going to touch 1 billion people in 6 months or maybe a year or so. So the audience is huge. You just have to go there, and believe me, uh, you can be you can be so much, I would say, you can create so much impact by putting content even on a single platform. And but when you have a great audience, you will realize that you should also explore other platforms. And but let's start with one platform only. The only superpower that you can have is sharing consistently. If you're sharing consistently, no one can literally stop you. No one. Even if you think you have competitors, even they cannot stop you because you are consistent. Like, consistency can beat even hard luck, sorry, not hard luck, hard work, luck, anything. Consistency can beat anything, and consistency can put you at a place where luck will find you. So be consistent, whatever you're doing. You have already identified your niche. You just have to provide content. And I recommend everyone to plan it. Planning anything is half the job done. And that's why I plan my content for a week, for maybe 3 days or something. I actually write everything in docs first, review it, and then post on LinkedIn. It's not like, I had a thought in the morning and then I wrote it on LinkedIn or posted in the evening. It's not like that. You have to plan it. And this planning is necessary when you have a wider audience. When you get started, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to put anything, but it's better to it. I mean, you should not wait to uh, start producing content just because you're not planning good. you should start and then learn to plan along the way. This is my whole advice to you. Now add
Actually, I
value
just
to.
sorry, we just have one question when it comes to consistency. I guess most of us could relate that. Let's say you actually plan 1 week before, right? So a week
On the
before where you document.
during the weekends, for example, today is Saturday, tomorrow is
Hmm.
Sunday, so I'll be planning what I'll be posting for the next 4 days or 5 days.
Hmm.
uh, this is how
So what? So when it comes to that, so what if some people don't know what to just talk about, or maybe they run out of the ideas or content? So what is
very
gonna
good
happen?
question, very good question, and this would be the question in across like every mind. So I'll give you a idea to post something today only by the end of the session. For now, I'll give you 3 4 ideas. You might be learning something first of all, right?
Hmm.
So whatever you're learning, you either be creating notes of it, or you either be, if you're learning something, you actually got some information and you have the right to share it now. You can share it on LinkedIn or Twitter or anywhere, right? You are actually adding value to others' life. You know something and you're sharing it with the public, so that they can also see, okay, this is something new, this is something amazing. You read an article and you found it very interesting. Share it across. That's it. That
Hmm.
This is the simplest way of getting started on social media, or producing content on LinkedIn. I know it. This is sharing content. I highly uh, you know I don't recommend people to put memes just to get reach on LinkedIn, because it's not the correct platform to basically, or you should not develop your niche around memes, right? Who would like to be known for memes on LinkedIn? No, you should. It's understandable, right? So if you have learned something, if you have any experience of yours with respect to interviews, with respect to a particular subject that you have in your college, or any learning that you had in your past, or something which you are doing and which is helping you in your life, just share. You just have to share your experiences on LinkedIn. That's it. Because if you can learn out of your experiences, others can also. And this is the simplest way, and this is how easy it is. I
Yeah.
hope you got the answer, right? Okay, now adding value to others. How the reach will increase? People will only follow you, or will only react or comment on your content, because only if it is helping them, right? I know you have learned something, you're sharing with others, but is it actually helpful or not, right? So if you saw some meme, or you saw a movie, you learned something out of it and you're sharing on LinkedIn, that's not something which is like, it's irrelevant, right? But you learned something related to DVMS. You learned something how uh, you know how online payments work. Now, you found it very interesting, so out of the 10 minutes video, you created bullet points and shared it on LinkedIn. Now, this is something interesting. People will see, okay, this is something new. Let's learn it. And that's how people follow you, because you're adding value to their lives. And believe me, the more consistently you add value to others' life, consistently people will add to your network, and things will follow, and things will fall into place very quickly. And this is what I do earlier. You can obviously, once you start sharing, once you can share 10 things which are adding a value to others, and then one post, something which is something related to you. Like, for example, if I shared my experience that I visited my office for the first time, this is something which I wanted to share with people. It's not adding much value to other people, but still, it's like, it's sharing my experience as well. But it's a different case for me, because I'm already there on LinkedIn since a long time, so I share anything that I like. But for all the people who are going to start, who are beginners, it's highly recommended to share things which will add value to others' life, because that's how people follow you. So that is the fourth thing. Now, explore more is something. If you're doing web development, for example, you can share things related to web development on LinkedIn, on Twitter. You can share, maybe, top 10 websites from where you can learn web development, or top 10 modules that you can use in Python to get started with web development, or so and so forth. But don't restrict yourself to web development, because obviously nothing is sustainable if it is monotonous, right? So you have to diversify your ways and explore other domains just for the content creation. I'm saying you don't have to learn Android development, web development, machine learning, and everything in your career as well. Just for the content creation domain, you can learn about different things and explore and diversify your content creation journey. So these are the 5 points, a roadmap for you folks that you can use. You can take a screenshot or anything and get started with your journey in building a social presence.
Yep.
Now, today I'll be sharing this. We are taking this session. You can take a screenshot and put it on LinkedIn or any social media handle like Instagram or Twitter. Tag me, Recro, Hafsa, anything. Anjuma. Tag us and share your experience, share your learning. If you don't have any learning, share your feedback. If you don't have any feedback, share the picture only. Trust me, if you tag me, the company, you people who follow us will see you, and if you share your experience, they will see, okay, he or she might have learned something out of the session. And later on, if any such session happens, I'll be notified because I follow this person. So they will react and they will ask questions about you. They'll connect with you and they'll ask questions what happened in the session. Now the probability of getting these conversations happen is very low, but the you know the answer will always be no if you won't even try. So just go for it. That's the unique idea I wanted to share by the end of the session, but I'm sharing it right away. Just take a screenshot, but not now because I'm not visible on the camera. If I am, just take a screenshot, put it on LinkedIn and tag me. You'll get some reach. I'll comment also. Okay, Hafsa, you're saying something.
Yeah, so there's one more question that we had. So when you say we have to share consistently, right? So how many times do you think, let's say LinkedIn has a platform for developers. So a lot of people will ask you, how many times should you be sharing the content in a week or per day? So how does that work for LinkedIn or any platform as such?
Yes. So that's a really nice question. What should be your frequency?
Hmm.
Now, when you're like, for people like me, Arsh is a very good friend of mine. So, and people who are very much popular, like Love Bhaiya, so they post very less, but they are, because there is reason for everything, right? Arsh and I are posting on LinkedIn because this is one of our major source of new audience on our other social media platforms. If you want to start a journey on social media, on in content creation and building a social presence, you can be consistent, or you can be posting once a week, once in 3 days, or maybe daily, or maybe 2 times a day. It's up to you how much content you can produce. You should not affect your productivity, your daily schedule, because of this content creation thing, because there might be some other important stuff than this. Obviously, if you're a college student, right? This frequency is upon you, and there is no hard and fast rule to be followed to be consistent on any social media handle. If I'm posting 2 times a day, I can post 3 times as well. I can post 1 time, and sometimes I don't even post if I don't have something, right. So it's not, if others are doing, I should also do, or there is a hard and fast rule. No, it's not like that. It's up to you. If you have content, go for it. If you don't have, it's okay. People will not forget you if you are not posting regularly, but people will forget you if you'll stop for a long period. So if I talk about me, if I don't post for a week, people will, the reach will decrease. And that's the truth, because LinkedIn has an algorithm which identifies things, which see people who are posting, and accordingly it widens the reach. And similarly, things work on other platforms as well. But if you don't post, that particular algorithm will not get any input, so how will it produce the outcome, right? So it's a simple machine learning model, right? So if you're getting the inputs, you'll get the output, better accuracy. If not, nothing works. Okay. Moving on to the tips and tricks. So these are the some things that I identified in the whole process that everyone should follow if they are very much interested in building their social presence or continue as a content creator or continue or start their journey in content creation. So try to share trending things. So what are trending things in software engineering? There are a lot actually. You want to share, for example, recently if I talk about Microsoft has this, news published that although it was a false news that Microsoft doubled their salaries and blah blah so and so forth. So I shared thing related to it. Maybe whatever my thoughts were. So the thing was trending, so I shared accordingly. Amazon Wow or any particular program is going on. You were a part of that program, so you shared your experience. So you, if when you share a trending topic, people will your things will get more reach. Obviously this is how every social platform is working, right? So if you share trending things you will get more reach. You will people will more people will connect with you and your network will increase more uh, quickly than the normal days. And it's not like you always have to share trending content then, because it will then it will actually destroy your niche, because then you will be running after trending topics and you will go away from your niche content. So you need to keep a balance between both of them, right? Now sharing across platforms. So what I used to do, what even today what I do is, if I get some reach over a particular thing that I shared over Twitter, I share it over LinkedIn after a few days, adding some more things onto it based on the feedback that I got on that tweet. Now, vice versa also. If I shared something on LinkedIn, if it gets good reach, I share it across on Twitter as well with some modifications or the feedback that I got on LinkedIn. So this is the way that I feel is something you can be active on multiple platforms using or utilizing single source or maybe utilizing you know uh, a single post or single content to be published on different platforms. And you can publish it on any other platform as well, but make sure you identify a you cannot share long post on Instagram, right? Because on Instagram life is very fast. People want to see and entertainment. People want to see content which is very quick to consume. So you need to post things accordingly. It's not like you can post everything what you did on Instagram, on Twitter, or Twitter, LinkedIn, anything. You just have to identify which thing is working on which platform, and things will follow. Now, one of the downside of everything is mental health. And oh, sorry. First of all, take feedback. Now, once you start creating content, the best friend of your is people who consume your content, because they are the only one which can share feedback where you are going wrong. Because eventually you're creating content for them, you're sharing your knowledge to add value in their lives, right? So ask for feedback from them, or if they're sharing voluntarily, that's great. Ask them, take feedback, improve upon them. If you think they are wrong, justify your answer. If you think they are right, improve upon them and work upon whatever things are going wrong. Because actually, I was talking to one of the amazing content creators on YouTube, and one thing that so I was confused about. So it was like long back. So I asked him, Bhaiya, like, how do you get more ideas to create videos? And the one thing that he answered was, just go to your comment section. That's it. You never have to think about any YouTube video idea. You just have to go to the comment section. That's it. And actually, that helped me increasing my reach, because I'm actually solving problems which my community wants. Right. So this is how feedback is very helpful, and you can use it to increase your reach and develop content, future content. Mental health. Now, whichever domain you enter, you are not the only one who is trying to achieve milestone or unlock milestones. There are thousands or 10,000 of others who are doing the same thing. So definitely it's it's a part of human nature, or human psychology, that your mental health will be affected. It's just that you have to maintain a balance, or you have to understand yourself that whatever you're doing is right, and you should take others, if others are doing right, appreciate that and get inspiration from that and work around it. So you should not take anything which is happening around, whichever your competitors are doing, or not competitors but people who are in the of doing things or producing content of same interest. Take inspiration from them, why their content is great, getting so much reach, why your content is not getting so much reach. So take inspiration from them, ask questions, connect with them, and this is how things work. Criticism, take, if you will get 10 good comments, there will be one bad comment, and trust me, you will keep on overthinking about that bad comment and ignore those 10 good comments. And this is the thing that I used to do when I was into this YouTube, social media, LinkedIn, and everything. I used to get a lot of good comments, bad comments as well, but I used to overthink a lot over the bad comments. And even today as well, but now, and I used to ignore. And now I have this thing that I reply to every bad comment. Sometimes savage reply, sometimes genuine reply, but I do reply to them. And yeah, I ignore whatever they said, because I know what I'm doing is correct, and a lot of people are getting help out of it. So you are the only motivator of yourself, and you should not disturb your mental health just because of just these minor things. Comparison, definitely, it's in our upbringing, we are being brought up like this. We compare things. You will compare once you start creating content with people, like he or she is posting shit, I'm posting such amazing content, why I'm not getting the reach, he's posting shit, he's getting so many reach. This will happen, this is going to happen, and trust me, if you're consistent, if you're providing content, if you're genuinely helping others, things will fall into place with time. And if you're just doing it for reach, start posting meme on any content, on any particular platform, you will get reach, right? So comparison is not something I can teach you not to do it. It's something you'll understand along the way, because I learned it along the way. Even I'm learning it along the way. It's not like I don't compare it myself with anyone, but I learned it a lot, and I'm learning on the go, and I compare very less because I focus on my content. And yeah, that's the thing. Just focus on what you're doing. Keep the vision in mind that you want to help a lot of people, and because eventually it's going to help you as well. I already told the benefits, right? Okay.
I think adding to that, Kushal, one more thing that most of, let's say, developers or any people in general, a mix of your last 2 points of mental health criticism and comparison, right? People have hard time for just starting it over, right? They'll be like, okay, what my friends are going to think, what my colleagues are going to think, what my family people are going to think. So am I going to be a little what if I'm gonna fail? So that literally demotivates and like stops half of the people from just being out there. And that in a developer centric community, let's say, it's really a little more than when compared to the marketing domain, or let's say the other domains of the industry. Like people
Yes.
don't come forward to socialize, and the one who actually does, they make a lot of difference.
Exactly. So that's a very good point. The developer community is very less into social media, and I would recommend everyone to come in because it's great. It's literally very great, and all those people, all your relatives, all those friends who are bullying you, who are criticizing you today just because you are making fun of you. Trust me, they'll they'll be the person or people who will be calling you again and again just to talk to you once you'll get
Mhm.
popular or once you'll get great amount of followers. And do me a favor, don't pick their call then. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving ahead. So I tell everyone, and I also keep this thing in my mind that it's okay to be slow, because when you start anything from scratch, you'll have a hard time, and that's a part of life. Whenever you start something new, things will not go right. People will criticize. You'll not get what you expected. You'll see other people, they're getting so much, you're getting nothing. So things will be like this. But if it's okay to be slow, but it's not okay to be stagnant. Even if you see increment in your followers, in your connections, in your subscriber, even by one, that means progress. But if it's constant for a small duration of time or a long duration of time, that means something is going bad and something is not right, and you should improve upon it. So slow progress is very much appreciated than no progress. Right? You would have understood what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we have covered actually a lot of time of yours. It's 5:45, so I'll be ending the session with a huge thank you to all of you, and we'll be covering the questions which are being asked across platforms. Thank you for being such a nice audience, whomsoever is listening. If you folks can unmute, if you're on Zoom, I would love to talk to you. And if you're on other social media platforms, you can write your questions in the chat section. Okay.
I think, Kushal, we can take up all the questions in the Q&A tab. We have 6 questions there, so
Okay. Okay. What about the questions on YouTube and?
Okay, I'll just go through it and I'll
yeah,
read it down for you. That'll make the okay.
Okay. So we have. Should we add work done on previous job on LinkedIn also? Work done in the sense, in Sam, you're asking about the LinkedIn profile. In the experience section, you want to add the work done in your previous job. Definitely, you should add. Definitely. Yes, you should add that. You can go through my profile, you'll see whatever experiences I had. I've added like all the things which are very much impactful. I will tell you a mantra while adding projects or experiences in your resume or on your LinkedIn. Make sure you do 3 things. First is mention what your learnings were when you did that project. Second thing is your achievement, what you achieved by doing that thing, doing that work, or doing that project. Third is your impact. What impact you created by solving a real world problem, whatever you did, what was the impact of it? Keeping these 3 things in mind, it will help you get more reach when recruiters will read your profile, and it actually uh, give a better impression to others whenever other people read you. You can go through my profile and you will see, okay, things are very much, you know, very much organized, and you'll be able to understand, okay, that guy has done something, whatever learnings I had, whatever achievements I achieved, and whatever impact I created. You'll able to understand all 3 points. And you folks, you can take a screenshot and just post it on social media, how to write experience in your LinkedIn profile or projects in your resume. This can be your takeaway. Can previous job experience description be same as put it on resume? I didn't get your anonymous attendee or question. Please write it again. Platform has to be video platform or can it be media? Any platform, any platform. There are so many places where developer community is very huge. And there's so many platforms and one person cannot explore all of them. If you talk about Stack Overflow, I have a profile there. I have like reputation of 78. Now 78 is a good number for a person who uses Stack Overflow. He or she would know 78 is a good number there, right? So you can, use any platform. Medium is an amazing platform, and it will actually provide you, if your article provide you earning as well, if your article has some good reach, right? Having 2 years of work experience, anonymous again. Yeah, I'm not getting. Okay, can I avoid putting personal projects in resume? Okay, so when it comes to resume, if you want to avoid putting your projects in that, make sure you are filling the remaining spaces with your experiences. Then you should not have empty spaces in your resume. So if I talk about me, I have 3 experiences: current Microsoft, previous internships, 3 experiences. Still, I have 3 projects written on my resume because with what I will fill that space then. Okay, sometimes it feels like an imposter when we learn from a video, article, making notes, and then sharing same thing in some words. So that's a good point, Divya. It does happen. So you learn something from video, you learn something from an article, then you try to make something of your own language and share it across. You feel like you have copied something or you're sharing the same information. But trust me, it's not like that. Whenever you share something, you actually create a version of your own, right?
Mm.
But if you're copying exact word, that's obvious a copy, right? If you can directly share that link to that article, if you actually want to help others, if you actually found that thing very interesting, if you want to share content related to that idea, why you're reading only one article? Read 10, then try to think what you can write out of that, the knowledge of those 10 articles. This is how things work. Reading one, writing the post, choosing one. If that would be the case, see how many people can write, do that thing. Just reading one article, posting content, reading one article, posting content. If even if you do that, it won't work. That's the thing. Is Twitter a good platform to leave my project? Definitely. I am I'm posting on LinkedIn. I'm sharing things on Twitter on daily basis. There is a character limit on Twitter, so you have to write very concise thing. Although you can write threads, but they are like the reach of threads are very less that I have observed. And but you have to write things very concisely that conveys a lot of thing, a big message, but in a short way. Also, it's a great way to kickstart your journey in social media. I know so many people who are producing or sharing things on Twitter on daily basis. If I talk about some of the names like Priyansh Agarwal, Anshu Sadaria, and it's not like you have to only share a tech content. You can rant about your life. You can share your experiences, anything on Twitter. That's why all the developers who post technical content on LinkedIn or education content on LinkedIn, they rant about their lives on Twitter. If you'll go to Twitter, you'll find that.
Yeah. So, Kushal, we just have one added question. I think you covered the point of the recruiters part, right? So, how could developers build their profile in such a way that they could be identified by the recruiters of the top companies that they want to work with, or get reverted back from the recruiters, or how the profile should be built in a way? Like added to that, you told a lot of companies reached out to you based on your profile, right? So, how could anyone make such changes that recruiters could approach them, and what are the things?
So if you want anyone who want to know about this, I have a dedicated video on it where I've covered everything with Ursh Goel on my channel. I would recommend everyone to go through that, but I'll summarize what you can do. There are a lot of things. A picture is something which is a first impression. Then the
Mm.
status that you have. So make sure whatever you are writing in that, it conveys what you are looking for right now or what you can provide right now, right? For example, you're a web developer, you're a student, you're a software engineer, you know some stuff. So make sure the first few seconds of your profile, people will understand what you do and what you can provide to them. Moving ahead, LinkedIn has this all-star feature where it helps you, it gives you a progress bar where it tells you what things are left in your profile. You can add featured post that you want others to see that you have posted in the past. By adding experiences, you should add everything that you had in your past, maybe related to your technical experiences, your community experiences, everything. You should. And what I've seen in, generally what people do, they add company name, their position, their duration, that's it. They add nothing. Whenever you add experience, for example, if a recruiter comes to your profile and they see, okay, that person is a engineer or intern at, yahoo.com, but what he did, there is no information mentioned there. So why would they consider you over someone who has interned at eBay but has a lot of information written in their experience? So this is how, this is one of the thing, and then the SEO thing, search engine optimization thing. You have to add everything which is related to your career in your summary, and all the skills that you have in the skills, and uh, you know uh, so that whenever recruiters search for a particular skill, your profile gets notified, or your profile gets in the search results. Also, there is this projects thing or achievements things on LinkedIn. Make sure you add whatever you have achieved, whatever projects you have built, or whatever events you participated there. Because obviously, when people see you have built some amazing projects, they don't have to go to your resume to see what you have done, what you have did, or what skills you have. So mention your projects, mention your achievements, and this thing, whatever honors you had or whatever events you participated, maybe some hackathon, maybe you judged an event, maybe you were a volunteer mentor in an event. So these are the things that you can do, and I will highly recommend to go through that video because we have discussed everything in detail. Uh, how to actually build your LinkedIn profile from scratch and to the best. We have reviewed multiple profiles as well, so that will definitely help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we have one question, Kushal. So most of people on the LinkedIn, they were asking about, what literally inspired you to start the content journey? Like, what was that, that icebreaker thing, that who motivated you, or what did you see in the content journey that you thought, this might help me go ahead, and the
Okay.
need of it?
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. So, I've already mentioned a few of the things. One is I've been creating content over one platform, that is YouTube. So, in order to increase your reach, in order to reach a lot more people, you have to diversify to different platforms. And LinkedIn is something where the audience is very huge and relevant to my content. That is one thing. Second is you are very much you are more connected to people on LinkedIn as compared to YouTube. People can connect, people can talk with you on obviously messaging, people can comment, people uh, actually you have reactions, more relevant reactions over a post, insightful, celebrate, support, whatever. So it gives more feedback when it comes to uh, when it comes to content. So that is one thing. And obviously as a content creator, you should diversify your domain. So you should diversify over different platforms to increase upon reach, to increase upon your audience, to increase upon your networking, collaboration, everything. So that's the whole motivation. But initially when I started, I was not frequent on LinkedIn. But later on, when I realized that I should be, because it's a great source of building my network, and that's how we reached 50,000. It's a huge number, and it's like whatever content I produce is relevant to my audience. That's what I say. That's what I
Mm.
can say.
Yeah. So I think most of the questions are answered.
I
I'll
would
just
recommend everyone to please connect with me. Just give
yeah.
me a connection request or any across any platform, and I'll be happy to help. The only thing that the only reply I get from all the DMs I get, whatever. So basically, when I reply to any of the messages that I get, the only response in return I get is at least you reply. So I reply to each and every message that I get. It might take a week. It might take 3 days, 2 days, a week as well, but I will reply.
So I'm gonna drop Kushal's LinkedIn and YouTube link in
Yes.
the chat so that you can quickly go and give him a follow and give him a support of the work that he's doing out there, and you can connect to him, and I'm sure he would
Yes.
reach out to you. And if you're a student over here, that would be a lot beneficial for you. I think Kushal is also running a community of 40,000 students. So, Kushal, how did that start? Like, what are you actually covering there, and how did that initiate it? And how are you
It
helping
started
people?
long back. Like I started so this community is something which I started like more than 1.5 years back, and
Okay.
started from zero. Now it's 30, 40 across, like 50 here, 30 on
Mhm.
YouTube, 10,000 on Telegram, Twitter, around 4.5 thousand. So it looks like a dream, it it looked like a dream when I started, but now it's real. And all I can say is consistently, I produce
Mm.
consistency and taking feedbacks along the way.
Yeah.
I got a lot of criticism, not not much, although fortunately I didn't get much of the criticism, but I got a lot of feedback. Students are very supportive. They help me understood my weak points and help me improve along the way. So I added value to people's lives, so they also helping me to improve my life
Mm.
and my work. So yeah, that's the whole mantra.
I'll
Okay.
just like guys. So if you have any last minute questions, do drop in quickly. So I think we'll
Yes.
be wrapping up in a while.
Yes. And you can take a picture as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
posted. Um, I actually posted our made a LinkedIn post about this session, so you can comment the learnings of this post, and
Or
you
you
can
can
tag.
share a separate post, tag Recro, tag Anjum and me, and then we'll
Yes.
comment down. We'll be happy to share. Uh, ask reply to whatever your question. We
Yeah.
have made a LinkedIn post about the session. You comment with your learnings. Definitely.
Yeah. I think one question, last question, Kushal. So you said that you started your journey from YouTube, right? So was it back 2 years back or?
It was like I was very much infrequent, like was not frequent on YouTube initially. So my actual content journey when I started being frequent started in January 2021.
Mhm. So, as a developer, when you're starting any journey or being a content creator on YouTube, so do you most people stumble upon the things? Ki, I don't have a perfect mic or camera or what I'm going to talk about or that's like something people keep
Yeah,
fixating on. So,
yeah.
how
So
about that?
initial investment, if I tell you, so I invested 2,000 rupees for starting my journey in content creation. Out of that, one was the mic, which is the costliest one. It costed 800 rupees. Now I have a better mic, obviously, which costed like more than. Uh, but the mic, and then I had this tripod, gorilla pod, to make things stand. And what else? I believe I had some ideas of teaching also, so I bought a whiteboard, but I never used it. And but what I used to record it with my like the camera of a Samsung phone, which is not no more with me now. Like it's discarded. So it's okay. I mean, you can start with anything. I like there are so many creators who have started from a small room and now they are like have billions of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So even Aman Bhaiya, Aman Dattarwal, who started from his room, recording from his, with his phone. Now he has like 5, 6 channels, crossing millions. So you don't have to be perfect to get started.
Yes, exactly. I think those are just the questions left, I guess, Kushal. I think we can wrap up the session right now.
Yes, sure.
Well, that was the last question of the session, and that brings us to the end of this wonderful session. I would like to thank each one of you for joining us. Thank you
Thank you,
for the
folks,
people
for
joining from
wasting your time
Zoom.
with me.
Yeah,
I
thank
hope
you
I
for
was
joining.
able to add some value. If not, to share the feedback, and I'll try to improve in the next one.
Yes. Thank you for the audience joining on Zoom and LinkedIn and then YouTube. Hope you learned something new from today's session. We will look forward for your post on LinkedIn along your key learnings. And this would be a great way for you to start with your first post on your social media. You can tag Kushal
Exactly.
and then you can write down your learnings from today's webinar and tag Kushal of what literally you took away from the session. He would be more happy to help and share it across and give a hit like and subscribe. So also thank you so much, Kushal, for joining us. It was awesome having you. Thank you for taking out time and sharing such insightful information. That was really helpful and a lot informative for our developers community. So before we end the session, guys, I have few announcements to make, and we have created a community for developers called Rebase on Discord to a close community for JavaScript developers to unleash your true potential. If you're someone with 1+ year of experience, you can get chance to connect with fellow developers and get career opportunities, ask for help, and can the link for the Discord community is just in the chat right now. You can just go ahead and then join the community, connect with other developers, and just say hi over there. And we have also made a LinkedIn post about the session. Do comment your learnings in this post. The link of the post will be in the comments again. I think I've shared that across. And if you have more questions, follow Connect with Kushal on LinkedIn. I have dropped his LinkedIn link, and when you go, you can also follow his YouTube handle. And if you're a student, you can go ahead and join his community of the students on Telegram and other platforms. And if you're exploring career opportunities, Recro is hiring passionate developers. You can check the current openings at Recro at careers.recro.io. I'm quickly dropping the link in the chat. So we'll make sure that I will place you with the top 8 startups of the country, or if you think any of your friends need some career change, you can go ahead and then share it across. To stay updated with such events, you can follow us on social media. Follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube. Also follow Kushal on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And anywhere if you could find him, that would be great. So that's all for this session, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Hope to see you in the next session. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Thank you, Kushal.